Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to American Defender. Today is the Thanksgiving special. Today, I just got back from the gun shop. I got what's in this little guy right here. It's a little firearm I've wanted for a while. My buddy Josh, Brosef, y'all have seen him in a couple videos in the past. Turned me on to these. This is the Walther P1, which is basically the civilian version of the P38. So I just picked this up, and came with the holster and 2 mags for $3.89, and we're gonna see how she does. So we're gonna get right to it. Single stack. I don't know how many rounds it holds. I know nothing about this pistol right now. For the second half of this video, I'm sure by then I will know. But we're going to function test it real quick here. I'm going to put 2 rounds in it. Let's see how it does. They were very reliable. This is what replaced the Luger, is the P38. And this, in essence, is a P38. So let's see what we get here. Little function check action. Not going to aim, just going to fire. Okay, that seems to work. Alright. Let's do 3 rounds. See how that does. Lock back. Everything seems to be functioning. They're a double action pistol, double single. I'm gonna test the decocker right now. Point it in safe direction. Drop it. Okay, let's try that again. And, okay, and one more time. All right. Seems to be doing okay. Alright, so let's see here. I'm going to say that's an 8-round mag, I'm going to guess. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Sure is a wonderful day. Thanksgiving is upon us. This is Tuesday. This is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I believe it's Tuesday. I lost track. For all I know, it's next week already, and I slept through Thanksgiving. Look at that, 8. Look at that, I called it. Called it! Alright, so let's see what we get here. See if I can get you some better shots of it here. I want to get a side shot. So I got some hill over here. Let's feel that double action. Got a bottle right here. Yeah. Okay, back out here. Sure is a comfortable too. Flinched a little bit there. Alright, so I like the Tula, which is good for me because I like the Tula. Because the Tula's cheap at $7.47 a box. So this looks good so far. We got some aluminum case we're going to run through it. I got the rest of some Winchester from the PT92 shot video we did. 5 rounds. 6, 7, 8, 6. Huh? Maybe it is. Maybe it's 6. Let's see. counter shots. Let's go out and do some long range with it. 8. Alright. It is. It's 8 shots. Alright, so it seems to run Tula pretty good. Got me some Federal. I'm running all 115 grain full metal jacketed stuff today. I've heard these do well with hollow points too. Whoop. Let's try the other mag. It's got this really nice leather holster and the 2 mags. They're both marked Walther. It'd be kind of neat if they made a drum for this. So when we get back to the bench, I'll show you the breakdown of it. They're a very high quality pistol. And that's what I was looking for, was a really high quality pistol. I love my Taurus. I actually traded a Mini 14 I had in for this and some money. Love the Mini 14, but I'm more of a pistol shooter than I am anything. Mainly because of my bad back. Okay, so here we go. Going for the milk bottle. Aluminum case. Let's see how it does. A little bit low. Kick it up. Yeah, that's ricochet. I don't like that. Seems to do okay with the aluminum. Let's do 7 more rounds here. Yeah, we'll do 8 more. Second mag seems to work. Oh, yeah. Now, the main difference that I do know about the Walther P1 versus the P38 is this is actually an upgraded version of a P38. They were made after the war. The frame on this is aluminum as opposed to steel. The slides are thicker because the P38s had a nasty habit of cracking their slides. And yeah, the trigger on this in single action is actually pretty nice. Let's see here. Not too bad. Alright. So I'm going to put this mag back in the pouch here. Actually, before I do, I'm going to load it. Because this is the only firearm I brought with me today. And while full metal jacket is not ideal for self-defense, better than nothing. And we'll throw 1 Tula in there just to be different. Oh, I'll turn it around. Hey, a butterfly. So the weather here in Arizona's finally gotten to where it's somewhat tolerable for most people. Got all the snowbirds coming in. Get rid of my cough drop there, which is always fun. No, it's not. Go home. No, they usually end up doing more damage than good. So. All right. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's go from double. I'm going to practice the double action here. Peacock. Oh, what was that? Got us a little. Shooting a little high there. Still figuring it out. All right, so let's see what she does with some brass. We've tried steel, tried aluminum. I got some more of this brass, this last little bit of brass. See what she does with this. Some fired brass. I think I'm going to wipe out this box. Notice it's a lot cleaner out here today. That's because the state has decided to quit putting up with people bringing their refrigerators and stuff out here and limited your target use. If you get caught out here bringing an unapproved target now, you'll be fined $5,000 because they're sick of having people bring their junk out here. I told you all a long time ago, I told you something like that was going to happen. And all you jerks that just keep bringing their stuff out here and leaving it, well, guess what you've done for all of us? At first, you took away our ability to use reactive targets. And then if we want to bring out some pop bottles or something, we can't bring that now. So yeah, you're ruining it for all of us. So knock it off. Next thing you know, they're going to tell everybody, guess what? You can't shoot out here. So clean up your damn act. This place, and there's one other place down the road, are the only two places left near the valley on the east side that you could shoot. They've closed all the others off. Plus, I think it's also, though, I think there's some political stuff behind it because we have a range that's owned by Game and Fish now, and I think they're trying to choke everybody into that range. But that range sucks. It's unsafe. It sucks. Pop can. Little low. Little low. Does brass just fine. So there you go. There it is, Walther P1. I'm gonna shoot it a little more, but we'll see you back at the bench here. Whew, I like it. I like it. Well, we're back now, so I'm gonna give you my impressions. This is my first impressions, guys, on this here Thanksgiving special of American Defender. Here's the pistol right here, the P1. It's empty. I'll go ahead and remove the magazine. Drop the hammer. Okay. I like it. I really like this pistol. Shot very well. I need to work on the sight picture a little bit. The sights are a little lacking to me, but I'll get used to them. I absolutely love GI sights on the 1911, but I don't know. There's just, for some reason, I was either shooting too high or too low with this thing, so I need to learn the characteristics of this gun a little better before I make a final statement on it. But of what I saw today, it did wonderfully. We only had the one hiccup where when I went to decock it, I kick it back up and fire it, it functioned. It went and the gun did what it was supposed to do, but the round that I had in it did not. So I'm going to blame the Federal aluminum case ammo. Let's just go over the couple cons that I have with this thing. They're not even cons, they're subjective. They're completely trivial. One, I don't like the plastic grips. They remind me of a BB gun. And I don't like the double action pull on this thing. It's really stiff. It's really hard. It's nothing. It's harder than a lot of revolvers that I've had. It stacks like crazy when you get it up. You can feel it right there. It stacks, but then again, I think that's got to do with when you're firing in double action, you really are supposed to stage the trigger and the hammer like that, and then slowly bring it in. The single action trigger on this thing is beautiful at about 2.5 pounds. Super buttery smooth. I love it. So it's just the double action function of it that I'm not a big fan of. But then again, at the same point in time, from a safety standpoint, it's excellent. What else? I mentioned the sights. Again, that's trivial. I think that's more me than the firearm. And I don't like the grips. The magazines in this insert very easily. Didn't have any trouble putting magazines in, and they will free fall. They will free fall for you. Get your thumb out of the way here. There you go. You can see it popped right out. They're very easy to get out. It is what it is. Wonderful pistol. I can see why the Germans, the German military used this up until 2004. It's a wonderful pistol. This is the first Walther I have ever owned. For the longest time, I avoided Walthers. And my reasoning is they just always seemed kind of cheap to me. They're really plasticky, and they always looked kind of funny to me. That's just my own personal opinion on it. But the P38, I always had kind of an eyeball for it because of the history behind it. And because it's just notoriously known to just shoot. If you want a firearm in 9mm that's very high quality, you're not going to have to pay a ton of money for. This is it right here. Right here. Yeah. I like it a lot. Again, like I mentioned before, this and the P38, they're the same gun, guys. Same exact gun. There's very little difference between the two of them. This one, again, does have a Duralloy frame. A lot of people say it's aluminum. It's not just aluminum, it's Duralloy. It's a very high alloy content frame. The service life of one of these pistols, according to the West German military, which is what this was a West German military issued pistol. It does have the Bundeswehr marks on the side. It was issued to them and it was used. They have a service life of 30 to 50,000 rounds. So you're never really going to do anything to this. The average person isn't going to shoot 30 to 50,000 rounds. And that's without the hex pin. Now mine has the hex pin, as you can see right there. And I don't know why people call it a hex pin, because it's really not a pin. It is the area where your locking lug rests. It comes apart just like a Beretta. Let's take it apart for you here real quick. So we got to drop the mag here. Take that out. Got to lock the slide back. There's a lever on the front. We're just going to swing that forward. And then we're going to drop the hammer. You got to make sure your slide stays back. Drop the hammer and pull it on forward. And there you go. As you see, you've got 2 guide rods there, 2 springs. Do not upgrade these springs, because there's a lot of people out there that'll get way too heavy of a spring, and that'll beat the crap out of your frame. To remove your barrel, it is super simple. You just simply push the little button on the back here, unlocking the lug, and pull it forward. And there you go. Now, isn't that interesting looking? It's got all the little markings and stuff on it. It's very Beretta looking. As a matter of fact, Beretta copied this. This is where they get their idea from. Nice beefy slide. It's pretty beefy. You can see there, it's got some weight to it. And that's one of the upgrades, as I mentioned before, of the P1, is they thickened the slide because the slide was cracking. So let me show you how this works here. This is actually kind of cool. Your barrel assembly actually just sits. Let's see here if I can line this up right. Come on. What are we doing here? There we go. It just sits down in here, like so. Okay, and you push that in and lock it, and it just sits there like that. It's locked in. You can see it's locked, and it doesn't move a whole lot, as you can see. So that's about all the movement it gets. But here, pull that forward, set that aside. This hex pin that everybody talks about right here is actually, if you can see it right there, right there above my pinky, little shiny steel part right there, that's your hex pin. And what that does is it gives your falling block locking lug right here a place to sit. So it's coming in contact with hard steel, not alloy. When they first made these pistols and first brought them out, they didn't have the hex pin on there. And they were basically having lockup issues with it because of that, because it would just beat the crap out of the frame, and eventually it would crack the frame, and the barrel assembly would come flying out the front of the gun. So they put that pin in there to kind of help extend the service life and take care of that, and it did. It worked. Okay, it did the job. All right, so to put all this back in, you just slide it back in here like so. Everything's got to be lined up. There we go. Line all that up. Lock that back in. I like to take this, turn it upside down. Okay, run that back in there. You're going to have to make sure that that locking lug is pressed up and stays up, and you're going to have to press your extractor. It folds down like so. And then this slides on. Bring it back, fold your lever, and that is it, guys. And we'll decock it. You have a dust cover on the top of it right here. If you want to get inside the slide to take everything out of here and clean, this dust cover just pops off. It's actually kind of a cool little design. Like I mentioned, though, the three things that I'm not a big fan of with this: don't like these grips, don't like the double action trigger pull, and I'm not a big fan of the sights right now. But I feel that I've got to I think that's more me than the gun. So overall, I think it's a very high quality weapon. They usually run right now about $400 to $500, but right now, as I'm making this video, there are a couple examples on Gun Broker for $275 with no reserve. Granted, there's no bids. They end in 3 days. They're $275. They're 1 year older than this one. This one was made in 1980. See there. German military used these until 2004. So that's got to tell you something. 1957, when they started making the P38 again, and in the early 60s they came out with the P1. Up until 2004, the German military, West German military, was using this firearm right here. That is outstanding. It tells you they actually liked it. So it's got the European release too, if I hadn't mentioned that. Absolutely awesome weapon, guys. I love it. Thank you for watching. We will revisit it and do some updates on it down the road. And since this is the Thanksgiving special, I figured I would go ahead and well, here's the holster to it. Just real quick, this is a P38 holster made in 1959. Here's the extra mag. They're all Walther mags. The things I'm thankful for, because a lot of us, when we think Thanksgiving, we don't actually sit down and think about the things that we appreciate and we're thankful for. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for the Constitution of the United States. I'm thankful that the founders recognized that there were certain inalienable rights that were granted to us, the people, by the Creator, not government. I'm thankful for the roof over my head and the shirt on my back, all of my friends. And yeah, I'm thankful that we have a holiday where I get to eat a bunch of food, because I'm a fat guy and I love to eat. So If I didn't throw that in there, I'd be lying. So with that, guys, I'm gonna get on out of here. I hope you liked the video. It's an interesting little piece there. Walther P1. We're out. God bless you. God bless this great country that we live in, the United States, and we will see you on the flip. Like, rate, subscribe. Bye now.